I have the Ultimates, Ghost Starscream and Bombshell. Super 7 cool figures, and I'm gonna go over these guys, which don't transform, but the packaging is cool. And we're gonna see how the figures are, and see if it's something you might wanna get for your collection. Be right back. Alright, so, Starscream as a ghost. Yes, he hunted for Octane, he tried to make a deal with Unicron, and he possessed Waspinator, so he gets around. But let's get this figure out. Now, first of all, just to show the packaging real quick, it's got a nice silver laminated style Starscream on the front, and Sky likes Starscream too. Or she likes me, one of the two. There's Ultimates on the top, it has a nice Decepticon symbol on the back, which is also nice and shiny. And this box shows Ghost Starscream and his accessories. It's the inner box once you remove the sleeve. And the back shows a picture of Starscream and some tech specs. Strength, intelligence, which, to be honest, I think the tech specs are probably wrong, because they've been wrong since the days of G1. He's supposed to have greater intelligence and skill and rank. It's supposed to be like a 9 in rank. It's only showing him as an 8, but I don't know where they're getting these numbers from. But we'll remove him from the package, which has shiny cardboard behind him. And there he is there. One of his hands fell out. So let's get all his accessories out and take a look. Because apparently he has multiple hands, multiple heads, which aren't that easy to get out. Now I'm not going to use a knife to pry them out, but a little screwdriver might avoid some damage. And he does have one strap across the front. I'll use the knife carefully, or I could go to the back and just untwist it. That might be easier, because this is a pretty strong piece of wire. Now, as I took him out, one of his wings fell off, but it's got a little ball joint thing. You can push it back into place. Now let's take a look at this guy. Now, it doesn't come with instructions, because like instructions for what? For not transforming him? So there is Starscream from the Ultimates, but he's a ghost. And let's take a look at his decor here, his look. I mean, he's pretty much got the Starscream look down. His head is a little bit bigger than most of the toys. He's got his two weapons, his blue hands, blue feet. Pretty much all of him is clear, except his face has opaque paint, so that's interesting. They left that part opaque. I don't know why. And he's got, on his wings, he's got the stripes, which is also opaque, not clear. The cockpit appears to be somewhat translucent. And the Decepticon symbols are pretty much, I mean, they might be opaque, but, you know, light still makes them glow. Now, he's not going to be able to do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme, I don't think. Well, you can do a, I could be wrong. You can pretty much do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme, so good for you. There's no ankle tilts or swivels, but he's got wide feet, so you can put him in a wide pose. He can kick forward, but not that far. Back is also not that far. Even if you move the tip of the wing out of the way, to the side, he can do quite the side kick, so that's good. Bends at the knee, no swivel. So for an action figure, he's kind of lacking on some stuff. Now the wings are plugged into the back, little ball joint things, but they also have hinges, so you can move the wings in different configurations. No twisting at the waist, and I just knocked out a wing. But again, it goes back in easily enough. He doesn't have any twisting at the waist, but he does have this chest area that kind of he can move up and down a little bit, basically from the cockpit up, so he's got some articulation there. The arms, if you move the wings out of the way, can go all the way around. He can bend at the elbow, and he does have a swivel. Even, it's a swivel that his guns are attached to, so you can't go all the way back, but you can do the classic on top of the arm type gun shot, though he's shooting ghost null rays and ghost cluster bombs, so I don't know how effective those are. You can put the arms out to the side as well, and the head turns, though it is a little too big to turn it all the way around, so but he can turn from side to side. So there he is, the ghost of Air Commander Starscream, after his bad comedy routine where he was being coronated. Now, you would think that the Ghost would have the crown, or at least the cape, but he does not. Some third-party versions actually have a Ghost with a cape. Now, his head pops right off, and you have two alternative heads. Now, he's kind of smirking on his normal head, but you can put on a more serious-faced head. That's the only real change there. And a more comic book accurate head, if you prefer. Might be a little bit closer to the toy as well. So he's got those various heads, and you can also take off his fists and give him various configurations of hands. These look like they should be holding like Megatron, or just reaching out to grasp whatever he wants to grasp. There is some articulation on the wrists, so you can actually bend it out in various ways. And that's with pretty much all these guys have articulation in the wrist. So depending on what hand you want to use, he could be like, "No, Megatron, don't shoot me again." Or it can be like, this one's like he wants to grab and grope. Dude, that doesn't fly these days. Of course, you need to make sure you push them all the way in. And when you use the articulation, it kind of pulls them a little bit out. The guns are removable, so maybe you can put those into his gun hand. So if you wanted to use it, as was shown in the original cartoon, them using their arm guns as handguns. But a pretty neat figure and a pretty neat homage to Ghost Starscream. Now, he does not transform, but then again, when he was a ghost, he didn't do a lot of transforming anyway. Though, he can fall over. Oh, the toes are also somewhat articulated. But if you spin him around at speed on a turntable of doom, he can still fall over. But there he is, Ghost Starscream. I think the best way to pose him is with his legs straight, if you're going to turn him around on a turntable. But there he is. So that is the ultimate Ghost Starscream with his various accessories. And we also have Bombshell, who of course has a nice kind of purplish picture of him on the front of his box and a purple Decepticon symbol on the back. That's the Ultimates on the top. Not sure how easy it is to see. You can catch the light. And the package here shows him with his accessories, which includes accessories from the European Action Master, which I used to have. Unfortunately, I no longer have. I sold it years ago. The credit card companies were happy, but these days I'm like, I really wish I still had them. But it paid debts and got work done on my house and gave me savings. Oh, and he's got the tech specs on the back. I'm not as familiar with the tech specs, the original G1, and very shiny blue as his background. And there he is with all his accessories. Now he's got a double plastic with tape, which is why a knife comes in handy. The back piece just has his Action Master partner, which I actually don't remember the name of his Action Master partner, but it has some articulation. He's got two weapons, no extra heads, but lots of extra feet, or not lots of extra hands, not feet. So there is Bombshell. And again, he comes with two different weapons. Very G1-like, very, I think that's maybe appeared in the cartoon. Different hands, Action Master partner, and of course the figure himself, which is a good representation of Bombshell, though his head cannon does not actually extend as far as it did with a lot of the action figures or even on the show. It's all right. Now, the hands that he comes with are two fists that are closed, and you can see on the back he's got a little hole for his Action Master partner to plug into his back. It does try to change the balance, though, and I think the original Action Master, it could actually go over his head, but in this case it just kind of bends forward, kind of like a weird jetpack backpack thing. Orange toes, purple legs, black plates on the sides, orange chest piece, not translucent as the G1 figure would be, but it's got the Decepticon symbol, some nice silver detailing. It's got the nice head that is very Bombshell looking. I think they did model this after the Action Master, who I think had this gun. Not this one, but this one is much more G1 appropriate. All right, posability. Of course, no ankle swivels, but he can do the full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Balancing him is a challenge. He can kick forward, but because of the way his hips are constructed, not that far forward. Same thing with the back, but sidekick, 90 degrees, very nice. Bends at the knee. There's a little bit of a swivel with his legs. It doesn't feel right, so I don't know that it's really supposed to swivel. All that kind of eased it up. So he's got a little bit of leg swivel. He does twist at the waist all the way around. So that's nice. The arms go all the way around, bends at the elbow, swivels out. Can't really go out to the sides though. They just go all the way around, bend, swivel, but he's definitely not forming a T in team. The head can turn, but not all the way around because of the shape of the head and the shoulders. And he does have the same type of little bit of bowing and moving up as Starscream did. Now the fists here are closed, like he's punching. We remove those. We can put in fists that look like they're supposed to hold a weapon, but this weapon does not fit in. The peg is way too big. Woohoo. Let's try the other hands. He has hands that are much wider, but grasping. And by the way, the hands have the wrist articulation. He also has a little bit of toe articulation, but he just leans backwards a little bit. I don't know how good that would be. Let's see, can we put the gun in this hand? We can. Luckily, the fist flexes a little bit, so he can have that and that. So he can have both weapons. So he's well armed. Then you can put his Action Master partner on his back, and there he is, ready for action. Now, honestly, these are figures that I would not go out of my way to collect, personally, because they don't transform. Though someone recently on a comparison video of the original Bombshell to the Legacy, and I threw in, I think, the Combiner Wars, was complaining that I hadn't included the Action Master, which it was only a Versus review, not a Evolution, and I hadn't included the Ultimate. But neither of those transform. This guy does not transform, so the comparison wouldn't have done anything. But they're cool figures. I think I got them for about 20 bucks at a comic convention. It's kind of an impulse buy. Ooh, one thing, yeah, I did mention the swivel. So it was a bit of an impulse buy. I'm not gonna hunt these all down just because I'd rather get transforming figures. But they're kind of neat to have, especially I have a Starscream case, so I'll probably put Ghost Starscream on top. I've gotten a few other figures and pops and things that don't transform, so I'm not totally averse to those. It's just 20 bucks a pop. I'd rather get, a deluxe Legacy. Still, they're cool, and if you're into them, I will definitely put links to these guys in the description. I've seen them going from about $20, $25 to somewhere around, 40 or 50, which is odd. So definitely go for the lower priced ones. Size-wise, these guys, Starscream's about 7 3/4 inches, so he's not Super 7. And Bombshell is about the same, maybe a hair shorter. But they're still both cool figures. And the hair shorter is, you're counting this, so it actually looks a little bit shorter side by side. But that's it, the Ultimates, the Super 7s, Ghost Starscream and Bombshell. Cool additions to my collection. Again, I'm probably not going to run out. If I see good deals on some additional Super 7 Ultimates, whatever they want to call them, I may pick up a few more, but yeah, they're neat figures and definitely have some articulation, but no transforming. But I hope you are enjoying these videos, even if there was no transforming involved, as much as I enjoy making them. And while you're mulling these guys over, there's another video over here that you can check out, which is a whole bunch of different Transformers merch, including some non-transforming figures. And as always, have fun, guys, and good hunting.